Welcome to Mind Coast, guys. If you're struggling with your self-image, this intention is for you. Intention 19. Self-image. When your plain, unfiltered self looks in the mirror, do you see defects or improvements that need to be made in your reflection? Things that without being able to modify in some manner, you won't have public confidence or be able to claim self-beauty. And what about the flip side? Does your physical appearance need to be acknowledged in order for a sense of beauty to be internalized? Are head turns from strangers really worth so much demand? Well, truth be told, it'd be hard not to think that in this day and age. But most people just don't realize how exhausting, and even more so, pointless it is to chase after appeal. They're too busy feeding into that bottomless void, not realizing that doing so is the very cause of their discontent. But the truth is that no one has to spend so much concern or energy to feel beautiful, because it's something that's inherent within us all. And there is a proper way for us to look at ourselves. To begin, I'll say it once again. It's hard not to worry about the way that we look in this day and age. We all know that because we've all felt it for ourselves. To be specific about that, we live in a time where social standards and opinions are publicized and circulated to a seemingly infinite degree. And in every public setting we enter to, the awareness of those standards and opinions can quite literally be felt weighing on almost everyone around us, who in turn can't help imposing that same pressure themselves. In other words, the public standard of attraction is something that we're all very much aware of. It's impossible not to be for both men and women. And so, each of us goes into the world with these criteria cemented in our minds, and then assemble our sense of beauty almost completely based upon the reactions, or lack thereof, from the people we encounter in response to our physical appearance, while also recording the details of those in our vicinity who are receiving attention. But I want everyone here to really think deeply about their answer to this question I'm posing. Isn't it exhausting not being enough to convince yourself of your own appeal? To, in every setting, keep track of who does or doesn't take notice of you, or who instead is receiving the most attention. All contemplations along those lines don't remain as just thoughts which come and go on a whim, or when we feel unnoticed. They evolve into a dissatisfaction that becomes a part of who we are. And from that, an increasingly excessive obsession to make improvements upon our looks is what comes into play. Like I mentioned at the beginning of our discussion, it's not so much hard to believe as it is just sad that personal dissatisfaction is as widespread as it is because so many people can't separate themselves from the masses and think independently. It's easy to say the words, "I am beautiful," and walk with a head held high while flush with cosmetics or in recognizably expensive brandwear. And so many people have made that their definition of beauty whilst projecting that onto others. But to be able to wake up and just be comfortable with the body that we have takes far less energy, and yet it's still not possible for so many people. None of us should ever make room to accept being discontent with our natural self, or feeling the slightest discomfort with our appearance in public as a norm. And if we've already done so, it's about time that changes. We should all be aware, though, that nothing about the world around us is going to change alongside us. The masses will still publicly ingratiate themselves towards men and women alike who have pretty faces, well-defined bodies, and a lavish sense of style. As is the case with much of what we build towards here at Mind Coast, the work that needs to be done starts from within ourselves and the definition of beauty that we uphold. Like I said before, it's easy to verbally claim beauty, but to truly embody that actually takes effort in our opinion-driven society. The reason why many of us have trouble embodying that is because the definition of beauty that we subscribe to, consciously or subconsciously, is rooted in one or multiple of the countless exclusive superficialities that exist. Whether it's a body weight threshold, or a pigmentation standard, or stylistic quality, any physical characteristic that you believe is a differentiator between possessing and lacking absolute beauty should be discarded. We all have to understand that beauty isn't ascribed to a specific form. It's something that each of us already possesses from the moment of our creation. It already defines who we are. So trying to magnify that by altering our appearance is just wasted effort, when the real issue is not having learned how to recognize it. It all starts with the voice inside our head that's active throughout our daily activities. That voice that lists out everything imperfect about you whenever you look in the mirror. That lists everything that separates you from the people you admire physically. That tells you to lower your head in shame when you're about in public. You have to respond to that voice every single time that it presents itself with the real truth, which is that you are beautiful as you are because of exactly who you are. And you have to know the reason behind the truth every time that you respond. That beauty is something you can't help possessing, no matter what. The truth is no simpler than that. If we manage to take that understanding to heart, then we'll find ourselves a lot more at peace and a lot less desperate for acknowledgement. I won't deny that compliments are nice to receive, but it really is important to know that they aren't some form of universal affirmation of attractiveness or a token of physical superiority. They shouldn't internally magnify the appreciation that we have for ourselves, because if they do, then that's as clear a sign as any that there's a hole existing where our honest confidence should be. But now, we all know how we should work to amend that, and as we do, we'll notice that receiving pleasant superficialities or watching them be given to others won't mean so much anymore. And from there, the improvements upon ourselves won't be motivated by comparison or dissatisfaction, but from a pure desire to be our very best. So be grateful for who you are, because who you are is by no means a mistake. There's so much truth to that for us to discover in this life once we get out of our own way. Thanks for listening, everyone. Feel welcome to join our community, and hope we meet again. Peace.